By the year 2200, or 2200, whichever way you want to say it, the world has been transformed into something unrecognizable to modern-day humanity. Elon Musk, through the acquisition of Twitter, convinced the entire human race to adopt the use of his Neuralink. I don't know how he did it, just go with it. He connected every human's consciousness to himself, the Command Core. He now controls all of humanity. Recognizing the weakness of the human flesh, Elon Musk shed humanity's mortal form to transcend into a new mechanized populace. It was terrifying, but still kind of cool. With this newfound robotic gestalt consciousness, Elon Musk took to the stars under the SpaceX banner to expand his galactic influence. SpaceX explored the galaxy, claiming new systems and building colonies on discovered planets. It wasn't long before they realized that they weren't alone in the galaxy. They had made contact with an alien civilization nearby, and like them, it was also a hive mind. Unlike SpaceX, however, they were organic. They probably have to do cringe things like breathe. With this discovery, Command Core Elon felt something he had not felt in a long time: disgust. SpaceX made contact with more alien civilizations, and with every new contact, the feeling of disgust grew. Elon felt that organics were not worthy to live side by side in a galaxy with SpaceX's evolutionary conscious machines. He finally had to act on the disgust. He sent legions of SpaceX's armies to invade and eradicate the primitive populace of the planet Sasharim 4. They wiped everyone out, not just the men, but the women and children too. Also the sand. Elon doesn't like sand. This obviously is a massive red flag and should be seen as a warning sign for the rest of the galaxy, or they will ignore it and treat Elon like he is an Austrian painter. One group of aliens with a wacky name, the Empire of Stucker, acted on the warning signs before it was too late. They swiftly invaded SpaceX by sending their fleets through a wormhole, but they were met with SpaceX's calculated strikes and were quickly defeated. Elon had got a taste of the purge, and now a hunger grew inside of him. A hunger that a Big Mac and some nuggies with honey mustard could not fill. What the Empire did not expect is that Elon would Uno reverse them and send his own fleets through the wormhole, taking their territory, invading worlds, and purging their inferior organic populations. Realizing their mistake, the Empire said it's just a prank, bro, and sued for peace. Surprisingly, Elon agreed to the peace for now, as he wanted to recover from their minor losses. Now let this war stand as an example for the rest of the galaxy of the heartache that would come from attacking SpaceX. With his taste for blood not satisfied, Elon sought to purge the organics bordering his territory. There was a minor problem. After his war with the Empire, the rest of the galaxy seemed to have banded together to defend each other from the looming mechanized threat of SpaceX. So Command Core Elon decided to go into full production mode instead. They built fleets and armies to get ready to purge the galaxy of the disgusting organics, or to defend against an invasion of SpaceX. Soon the preparations paid off as the Empire was back to reclaim their lost territory, but this time they brought their big brother, something manufacturing. I'm not going to attempt that. Act like I attempted it and said it right.
Please clap.
Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, I got wrecked initially. They had a stronger force and reverse purged several of SpaceX's planets of their mechanized units. SpaceX was pushed back to the wormhole and regrouped and launched a counterattack, gaining ground and re-exterminating the infestation known as organic life on their lost planets. The Empire was taught the same lesson again, losing even more territory, and once again had to ask for peace. There was peace for a time after this war, as Elon still could not be an aggressor, because of the defensive alliances formed. Nobody wants to fight the entire galaxy at the same time. He needed another civilization to attack him first, to isolate them and conquer the galaxy one civilization at a time. He began insulting his organic neighbors by saying things like, "Why don't you get a tummy ache?" or "What is it like to fall in love, losers?" And that worked. The Endurgan Unity attacked SpaceX without help. The war wasn't as one-sided as the previous wars. SpaceX did lose some territory at the bottom of the map, but was able to carve out a massive chunk of the Unity's bordering territory. So, it was pretty even trade. It was back to building up SpaceX's forces again, but this time they devoted a lot of resources to constructing megastructures. These megastructures would supply SpaceX with greatly increased resources to build their fleets and armies to purge the galaxy. And once they had built up their numbers, SpaceX went back to finish off the Endurgan Unity. They didn't succeed. They fought a long galactic war as two other civilizations were drawn into the fight, basically making it a 3v1. It kind of stunted the growth of SpaceX's territory, but they did claim most of the Unity's territory. Once this fourth or fifth war was over, SpaceX went back to producing as many war fleets as possible. When they were ready for the next war, they realized that the Endurgan Unity's allies had abandoned them. Their allies probably didn't want to get spanked by SpaceX again. The Unity was defenseless, and you guessed it, they fell quickly, and their populations were purged. Well, most of them were purged. Near the end of the war, our old friend, the Empire, decided to invade the Unity and try to take some of their territory. So the Unity systems couldn't be conquered because two parties controlled some territory. Looks like the Empire needs to be taught a lesson a third time. The Empire was aligned with that one unpronounceable manufacturing people, and by this time they had built a big boy of an armada. SpaceX's fleet didn't stand a chance, at least in a fair fight. If they were to start a war, SpaceX would be too stretched thin and would surely lose. Command Corps Elon knew that he would have to eliminate the entire enemy armada in the beginning. And to his benefit, they were already grouped up. SpaceX gathered their fleets, declared war, and took a wormhole to the system right next to where the armada was. The enemy armada had to travel a few fleets at a time to the system where SpaceX had laid their trap. SpaceX had positioned themselves to take on enemy fleets as soon as they arrived from the other system. It was a slaughter that opened up opportunity for SpaceX to rapidly conquer systems and purge planets. It was hopeless for the rest of the galaxy. By the time they had gathered fleets strong enough to do damage, it was too late. SpaceX had already conquered too much. The Empire, the unpronounceable manufacturing people, and their subordinates quickly fell. By this point, SpaceX purged almost the entire galaxy of organic life. The Great Genocide was almost over. Near the end of the war, a small hive mind had decided to do what the Empire had done at the start of this genocide. They invaded planets and systems under the control of SpaceX that were not fully conquered yet. Like, do you organics not learn? This is how you get purged. I guess if you wanted to get purged, then it was a good play. I'll give you that. I was also going to purge them anyway, so I guess it actually doesn't matter. You do you. And with that, SpaceX had genocided all inferior organic life in the galaxy. But the hunger inside of Command Corps Elon was not yet satisfied. One last civilization remained, but they were like SpaceX. They were robots. Elon respected them for transcending flesh into machine, but he wanted their territory. And with one final war, he conquered what was left to conquer. With that, SpaceX had committed a galaxy-wide genocide. All life outside of Elon's Gestalt robotic consciousness was erased. If you are too cool for purging the inferior organics, maybe you aren't cool enough to watch a group of people stranded on a planet struggle for survival and build a drug empire. And also they built a duck farm.